Greetings from Nashville. We are the Bollingers, Ty and Charlene.
Hello, hello. Superfoods may not wear costumes or hang out with Captain America and the gang, but they do even more to keep us safe. In this clip from our docu-series, our good buddy Dr. Robert Scott Bell tells us about 6 superfoods that prevent cancer, including his personal favorite. Let's take a look.
Right?
What are 6 foods that you have control over? That you have control over what you put in your mouth.
Sure.
You may not be able to have control over the air you breathe.
Right.
But you have control over what you eat.
Yeah.
Give me a half a dozen foods that you believe are some really good foods for preventing cancer.
Right. Well, you think about the superfoods, right? Because a lot of foods may contain high calories and some minerals and vitamins. They might not be as densely, say proportionally speaking, there because we've got to counteract so much in our environment. Where it may have been simple enough to grow your own food and eat all of the food as it was grown. I believe right now we're dealing with extraordinary times, maybe catastrophic in the devastation to the environment. And because of that, just selecting certain foods that I think would be good. Like, I'm not personally a big fan of beets. I had an allergy to it as a child. I believe now, looking back, that I wasn't allergic to beets, but because beets have such a powerful beneficial impact to the liver, for instance, that it was helping me to detoxify, and it was misinterpreted as an allergy, for instance. So that's a great food. Superfoods and super greens. Kale is an excellent food that contains a lot of good things. Sea vegetation. If you can find non-irradiated, non-contaminated forms of sea vegetation, and there are many strains of this, create the most minerally rich, abundant superfoods on the planet. We need to look also at the mineral content for the connective tissue. I talked about silica. Most of the foods, unfortunately, that we eat have been robbed of these trace elements because industry has found it much more profitable to take those minerals and use them for different reasons, and they leave us with the deficient foods. So we talk about something like silica. You could go to something like the horsetail extract, something that you could grow and make into a tea yourself or concentrate in a whole food form from a tea. And now you have an abundance of silica, which again is one of those trace minerals so critical, and the only time you'll find it in a health food store, it's in the little beauty section for women that want to have better nails or hair or skin. And yet we ignore the fact that it's the integrity of the entire connective tissue of the body. The vascular system as well is dependent upon that humble trace element that's been removed from most foods. We talk about foods like whole grains that used to contain abundant amounts of chromium, and they've been robbed of the chromium because the soils don't contain it or industry refines it out. Chromium, why do we need that? The form that I talk about is grown as food because it manages what? Sugar, blood sugar. It helps to deliver it successfully into the cells and mobilize it out of the cells should we need it if we don't have enough coming in from external sources. And then we see as Dr. Bitar calls it, the obligate glucose metabolizer, cancer, really taking advantage of the fact that we are chromium deficient. It has access to the sugar very readily because we don't have the chromium necessary to bind it and help deliver it so the cancer cells can't get it. So that'd be another aspect. Other foods like Brazil nuts are rich in selenium, although we see as well now lower than it was. And we need, for real metabolic benefit of selenium, higher quantities than we're getting just from Brazil nuts and other foods. So concentrating the selenium in a food-grown source or form is going to be critical. Utilizing upwards of 200 micrograms a day, bare minimum, as preventive maintenance, but upwards of 400, 600, 800, or even 1,000 micrograms of this food-grown form of selenium to reverse the cancer like no other trace mineral can do. And rather than believe the FDA in their corrupt study of yesteryear that says selenium can be toxic to you, the form that we're talking about is not a synthetic isolate, a food-grown form. We can take large quantities without concerning ourselves with selenotoxicity, and it will greatly benefit the cancer patients almost more than anything else. Selenium, among all others, may be the most important, and I never want to say it's the only thing, but it's one of the biggest.
We hope you enjoyed this video. The Truth About Cancer, A Global Quest is a powerful 9-part docu-series that explores the best ways to prevent, treat, and even beat cancer, and we're inviting you to watch it all absolutely free. Simply click the link in the description to save your spot today.
Thanks so much for watching. Like and comment to let us know if this has been helpful to you. Share it by clicking the button below. And thank you. God bless.